I'm curious, Luke, you've talked to the likes of Jose Maria Olazabal and Monty and Bernard Langer ahead of Rome. How do you continue to challenge yourself and learn as a captain now that you've already won the Ryder Cup?
Oh, well, thanks, Damon. I think as a captain, as anyone, you're always continuing to learn. I'm continuing to talk to people that been in those kind of leadership roles. I'm continuing to read books. I'm continuing to try and bring in as much information as I can and try and give myself and my team the best opportunity for success in it's going to be a spirited environment in New York. So I'm excited for the opportunity and, very honored that the players wanted me to come back for 2 more years.
Luke, last time you didn't get the full traditional lead into the job when you replaced Henrik Stenson on August 1st. You do have it this year. Zach Johnson had the job 6 months longer than you did. Is there anything you find this time around where you feel as though you've got a head start on the job that perhaps you felt a little bit rushed on in terms of preparation for Rome?
Well, I think you just said the word there, rushed. It was a little bit rushed. I think it feels a little bit more calmer, a little bit more collected. I can take my time into gathering some information that will hopefully help the team. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, the 14 months felt like it was still enough time. And obviously, we proved that with the win in Rome. It was enough time to prepare and get ready and kind of get to know the guys and kind of get their trust. And I think that was the most important thing for me, is just being able to talk to the players and trust and bring in a plan that they bought into.
Luke, you've had some big moments in this game, became the #1 player in the world, had some wonderful battles against Lee Westwood at Wentworth. You've played in the Ryder Cup 4 times, hit those incredible shots coming down the stretch at Medina in 2012. You said that last year at Rome was the best event that you have ever been a part of, and you didn't hit a shot. Why do you feel that way?
Well, first of all, it was a lot of pressure, to go in after the loss that we'd had in Whistling Straits with that margin, 19-9, I believe it was. A lot of pressure. We hadn't really lost a home Ryder Cup for a long time, so I didn't want to be the first captain to do that. And to put in the time and effort and work to try and create, an environment and a culture and a plan that was going to be able to give the guys the best chance of success. It took a lot, and I think it was a lot of relief, a lot of excitement, a lot of joy, a lot of emotion. I certainly got very emotional on that 18th green when we wrapped up the Cup. So I think it was just that whole build-up of 14 months of work that meant so much to me, to give myself and give my team a good opportunity for success. And it's just nothing quite like Ryder Cups. It was great as a player, vice captain, but as a captain, there's more responsibility, and obviously getting the win was very, very gratifying.
That culture and plan you put in place, Luke, led to a pretty wide victory for the European team, but you're also known as an analytical guy. Do you look back on Rome and think, what I did here or what I did there wasn't what I would do again, that I made a mistake even if nobody else sees it? Or is that blueprint automatically transferable?
I think it's hard to say that I made too many mistakes because we were up such a big margin, through the first day. I think everything did go to plan. We certainly had some things that really worked. We had 3 of the top 4 players in the world, and they were all firing on all cylinders. That really helped. You need your strong players to play well. But again, I think playing against such a strong American team, coming off that bad loss in Whistling Straits, to be able to perform and get a win that didn't seem as dominant as the score maybe presented itself, but it was very gratifying, and there's certainly a lot of things from that Ryder Cup that we'll bring to New York.
Luke, I saw you last night at the Met Golf Writers Dinner. You were awarded with the gold tee. You told Jimmy Roberts one thing you've always believed is you like walking toward a challenge. What did you mean?
Well, Well, I think, and I think the words I used in my speech was golf is very much like life. It can be difficult. There's lots of up and downs, lots of challenges. I certainly, from my individual standpoint in my career, I'm most proud of getting to world #1 when very few people thought I had the kind of game to be able to do that. But you know, dissecting the game, understanding how I could get a little bit better here, there, and everywhere, putting those little small incremental improvements on top of each other really led to a lot of success. And that's kind of how I've tried to approach the captaincy as well. You know, trying to find ways to give ourselves and our team just the little bit of an edge, because the teams are so finely matched, you know, on paper. The Americans are very, very strong. Now they have 3 of the top 4 in the world, and you know, it's going to be an uphill battle. So I'm going to need to bring everything I can to give these guys the best opportunity.
One of the incubators that Europe has used in recent memory, Luke, is what used to be known as the Seve Trophy, a match play event where guys from continental Europe are playing other members of the European Tour. And you're going to do that again in January in the Middle East. How important was that to you last time, just as a kind of an experiment with different guys, different dynamics, different partnerships? Are you going to use it the same way?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great learning for us. Obviously, the US team have the Presidents Cup. They play a team match play event every year, and I think it's great for us to be able to do the same. You know, in the end, 6 out of our 12 people who played in Rome played in that team cup last January. So it was important learnings. It's great to get people into that team environment, to see how they perform, see how they perform under pressure of the foursomes, the alternate shot kind of format, to see how they react with all their different teammates, and just to get them in and just kind of speak to them a little bit about what the Ryder Cup means and how important it is for those who've never been part of one. So it has so many benefits, and yeah, I'm looking forward to January again.
Speaking of Seve, he's become this talismanic figure for the European team. How powerful is his memory some 13 years after his passing?
You know, he was certainly an idol for me, and I think, you know, when he started playing in the Ryder Cup, when Europe started being a part of the Ryder Cup instead of just GB and I, he was a huge force. He understood how much it meant, how important it was for the tours, and a great rivalry was kind of started when he sort of came onto the scene. And you know, we love his passion, his flair for the event. He loves, you know, what it represents, and we certainly talk about Seve and his legacy and what it means to be a Ryder Cup player, and it's a strong motivating factor for us, for sure.
It was mentioned in the press conference, Luke, on how your qualification list has changed this year. It's down to one simplified list. More points being awarded where your likely team members are playing on the PGA Tour than perhaps in the past with some of the smaller European events. Are you in any way concerned that might make it a little trickier to get these fairy tale stories, because we've had European journeymen make the team before and step up in really big moments, like a Stephen Gallagher, a Paul McGinley, a Christy O'Connor Jr. Is there any concern that that aspect of European Ryder Cup team might disappear?
Well, it's a good question, and we have changed it to simplify it and streamline it. You know, I think with the 10 cards that were given to the US Tour from the DP World Tour last year, and again at the end of this year, we had to make some changes to make sure we had our strongest side. But that points list, if you look at it, you know, 30% more points for the European Tour, DP World Tour events than would be in relative terms to the official World Golf Rankings. We've lowered some of them from what the official World Golf Rankings would give to the elevated events. We're very conscious that, you know, we're happy to have someone that's playing very good golf on the DP World Tour that can still make that team, and that was important to us, and we have done the point system to accommodate that.
Luke, the only European captain to win on home soil and foreign soil, of course, Tony Jacklin back in the 80s. How much is that top of mind for you?
Of course. You know, I'm not being captain just to turn up. I'm there to try and win, and and do something that's only been done once before, and Tony Jacklin winning a home and away as a European Ryder Cup captain. It's a big challenge. It's a big task. We will be underdogs, and it's going to be a tough environment. But you know, I hopefully, you know, in 51 weeks or so, until that first tee shot goes off, we'll have a good plan in place, and our guys will be ready.